Who do you look at around the league as you're studying and say, we're going to have to run through them?
Celtics.
No one in the West?
Nah, I'm fine in the West.
Man, what a night for the NBA. And in fact, what a last 4 or 5 days for the NBA. From the Kyrie Irving trade request, then he gets traded to Dallas out of nowhere, LeBron breaking the record, then the Lakers trade happens. And then right before I'm about to go to sleep and tuck myself in thinking, damn, the Lakers made a move, it's great, the trade deadline lived up to expectations, Kevin Durant gets traded to Phoenix. A few months ago, Morant said what looks to be the dumbest thing a young player leading a team in a competitive conference could possibly say. This man said, I'm good in the West and all I'm worried about is Boston. Literally, Memphis has done nothing. I wouldn't even be too comfortable if he said that, but that's only something that a LeBron in the 2010 through 2018 era in the East, that's only something that he can say. I always talk about how LeBron exaggerates his competition to give himself more of that mental edge. Ja did the absolute opposite. It's crazy because in LeBron's reign of dominance in the Eastern Conference in that damn near decade span, look at how he completely obliterated the East every single time he played them. And then look at Memphis versus the West this year. I know they've had injuries, but literally so has everybody in the West, and they've struggled before the West just got significantly better. So why would he even say that? Now, since my video last night got copyrighted and I didn't even feel like re-uploading it at like 3 a.m. East Coast time, and then the KD trade happened, let me just retouch on a lot of the stuff that I said last night about the Russell Westbrook, D'Angelo Russell trade. Now, first of all, I was extremely excited to see D'Angelo Russell back with LA, like I just was. And regardless of how irrelevant that trade looks now with Kevin Durant joining Phoenix, he always rains on LeBron's parades. Rob Pelinka pulling this move off was still incredible. I'm still surprised that they were able to move Russell Westbrook's bad expiring contract, and they only had to lose that unprotected 2027 first round pick, Juan Toscano Anderson and Damian Jones, who they didn't even play, and get back that. I understand that it doesn't matter what he's done in these first 54 games in Minnesota. It only matters what he's going to do going forward in these last 30 with LA. But D'Angelo Russell, currently up to date, is literally having the best season of his career. If you look at D'Lo's shooting by distance, it's actually insane how incredibly efficient he's been as a 3-level scorer. Like I said in my video last night, for those who actually saw it, I believe he's always had this in his bag, but a lot of his inconsistencies as a scorer or a shooter has been because of his inconsistencies just getting on the floor. He's always been hurt. This season, he's already played 54 games out of 58, which really is 57 because he got traded last night and that's why he didn't play. But he's on pace to play in the 70s, which would be his highest since his best year in 2019 with Brooklyn. Also, he's now playing with LeBron James, a player that's known to be the system within himself, always put his teammates in the right situations. You just literally have to execute. It's like that old saying, you can walk the horse to the water, but you can't make him drink. LeBron is walking you to that water. You just have to knock down them open shots. It's almost like it worked out perfectly because D'Angelo has been indirectly preparing to play with LeBron because he's played with Ant-Man, a player that's developed into a more ball-dominant primary decision-making role this year, which inevitably made D'Angelo have to play off him. Look at D'Lo's usage rate this year, career lows. Look at Ant's career highs. Look at his field goals assisted on this year. It's near his career high since he played with Kobe. So like I said, playing off a ball handler like LeBron, it's not going to be a foreign concept because he's kind of been doing that all season. And also, we thought LeBron was insanely efficient and amazing as a scorer with the cluttered space that Russell Westbrook caused with his defender always sagging off of him. Well, now D'Lo can stretch the floor, so the spacing would be even better. And he can create for himself, and they can still run the pick and roll with Anthony Davis because he can pass as well. So like I said, they got a multifaceted guard that is a much bigger upgrade than Russell Westbrook. No disrespect to Russ, but it's just the facts. So with the spacing they've added in the last month with Rui Hachimura, Malik Beasley, and D'Lo, and every single trade they made, they got bigger players. They traded a shorter player for bigger players so that can help them defensively and on the glass. Rob and Jeannie can at least sleep at night knowing, okay, at least we gave LeBron a chance at the deadline. I don't know if they can actually contend for a championship because the West is too stacked, and I don't know if they dug themselves in too deep of a hole, but they can contend. If those two players are top 10 players like we think they are, they should be able to at least make a push. Bro, Kevin Durant just got traded mid-season to Phoenix. Literally, as I was about to wrap up my night, the Clippers looked like the Clippers. They lost to a Luka-less Mavericks team in Kyrie's debut. That looked normal. Russell Westbrook got traded. Like, it looked so normal. The NBA looked perfect. I was happy where it was. Then KD got traded to Phoenix? The Suns this season, they've obviously struggled. Devin Booker has missed significant time, which has really been the main reason why Jay Crowder holding out, DeAndre Ayton and Monty Williams had that weird chemistry. And Chris Paul, he's not LeBron. Like, his soon to be 38 years old looks like a player that's soon to be 38 years old. I remember I seen a report like probably a week ago that said the Suns, they're going to make significant changes this offseason, and I'm thinking they're going to blow it up. Like, I'm thinking it's over. Devin Booker's going to restart and kind of put himself back into that Dame situation. Chris Paul is gone. I didn't know they was getting Kevin Durant. Their little short, cute championship window looked like it had closed until now. You have to respect it because the Suns went all in on making sure they stayed relevant in this overwhelming overflow pool of talent in the West. And in the process, they created one of the most lethal duos, at least individually, isolation basketball in the sport. Now, as excited as I am for this move, I'm not one of these bronzesexuals that's mad that LeBron's parade just got rained on again by KD. I do have my concerns. Obviously, they had to make this move, and you understand it. The league is ran by how many stars can you pack on one team and produce on the floor. That's just how it is. But they did lose a lot of what actually made them great last year. That size and versatility that they had last year on the wings with Jay Crowder, Mikal Bridges, and Cam Johnson that took the pressure off of their stars, specifically defensively, that's gone now. Now, and I'm not saying they can't do this because obviously they can, but you're going to have to rely on your top heavy stars to produce offensively, which they will. That's going to be the easy part, but also get stops consistently, which can expose how thin they are. Typically, when you have a team, you would like to have those players that make stars' life easier, like a Jared Vanderbilt, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, players that take on the task of doing all the little things, which essentially allows your stars to rest a little bit even when they're on the court, specifically defensively. Now, Phoenix doesn't really have that. So Monty, he has to be real creative with his lineups. Hope the campaigns, the Torrey Craigs and TJ Warrens, which was a great pickup by the way, hope they can keep his head above water when the stars go out and really rely heavily on that big four. Now, offensively, it's going to be insane. You arguably have the top 3 mid-range scorers in the league. I know Chris Paul is kind of falling off a bit, but we know when he's on, he's automatic off that pick and roll. Now, they can spam pick and rolls with Ayton, and you can alternate with Chris Paul, Devin Booker, or KD. And you really can't play a drop coverage because they're automatic really at all levels of the court. And they still have a 7'1", 7'2" center that feast off of pick and rolls and those inside baskets with alley-oops, etc. And they can spot up their wings because everybody can shoot. Like I said, offensively, I'm expecting fireworks with like an extremely potent offense that's going to be a headache for anybody to stop. But I do worry about how thin they are and deep down a playoff stretch like in the Western Conference Finals, if losing Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, and Jay Crowder are arguably their best defensive players, if that's going to hurt them a bit. If you guys like this video, I will be doing the winners and losers of the trade deadline probably tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Turn on your post notifications. Follow my social media sites for updates and all that stuff. Do all that great stuff, guys, and until next time, as always, stay tuned.